As per the last word that we heard from that woman on ground, she said that around 2,000 women have worn the same sari. My colleague Brijesh Pandey is also now joining us on the broadcast. Brijesh, it's going to be a very big day, a jam-packed two-day session for the Prime Minister in the state of Gujarat. First time visiting there after Operation Sindoor, also honouring the Indian Armed Forces.
Well, absolutely, Sakshi. And if you can look at the visuals, they are narrating a story for which shows you the kind of political currency Prime Minister Narendra Modi has as far as Gujarat is concerned. This is his first visit after Operation Sindoor, and this roadshow is half a kilometer long roadshow, which starts from Vadodara Airport and ends at Air Force Base. And from there, the Prime Minister will go on a blitzkrieg of announcing projects worth 53,000 plus crore rupees as far as Gujarat is concerned. Later on in the day, he's also expected to go to Bhuj Air Base, and not only that, where he's likely to address, he'll also likely to hold a roadshow at around 6 p.m. in Ahmedabad. So this is a power-packed show as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned. It's a two-day show, and the kind of adulation, the kind of reception the Prime Minister has received as far as Gujarat is concerned can be seen on the TV screen. The viewers can see that the women's and supporters have lined up on both sides of the road, showering petals at Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We heard sound bites of people who have come to visit, come to see, have a look at Prime Minister Narendra Modi talking about what they felt about Operation Sindoor, how they felt that it was extremely important for them to see Prime Minister in flesh and blood, and how he makes them feel secure as far as national interest and safeguarding the national border is concerned. So it is a very personal, I would say, because he has been a key player as far as politics of Gujarat for a very long time, being the Chief Minister for 3 terms, and then from graduating to become the Prime Minister. So it's a very personal and a very important political visit for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Both sides of what is heartening to see is that both sides of the road, are there to catch a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also dotted with Indian tricolors, thousands of Indian tricolors waving at Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So I think, it's all in all a very, very symbolic welcome, very, very big welcome as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned.
Absolutely, and Brijesh, this is Prime Minister's home state, and you have been there on the ground a couple of times in the past as well. Over the years, what kind of charisma and charm have you noticed about the Prime Minister that brings out such a massive gathering to the ground?
Well, he has been an extremely popular Prime Minister as far as the state, Chief Minister as far as the state of Gujarat is concerned. He is born and brought up there, learned his ropes in RSS, and then, worked in various organizational capacities. And he was an important political figure as far as the state of Gujarat is concerned before we went in 2002 to become the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And, year after year, we saw, term after term, we saw Prime Minister attaining a cult-like status as far as the state of Gujarat is concerned. I think in the last 30-40 years, no leader has been as remotely popular in the state of Gujarat, embedded in the psyche of Gujarat as Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and his love, affection, and the way he is revered is something which you can see on the ground. Where people stationed on both sides and showering petals, flower petals at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, waving tricolor. You can see right now, the visuals showing people throwing rose petals at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, welcoming him, tricolors flying and waving tricolors at him. So it's a very, that's the reason, I said it's a very personal connect also as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned, because, home has a special feeling, and I think it also sends a very important political message as far as the BJP is concerned. Sakshi?
Absolutely, Brijesh. Now let's speak about 82,000 crore rupees is worth developmental or infrastructural projects that are going to be gifted to the state of Gujarat and eventually the nation as well. Couple of days ago only we were speaking about the kind of facelift the Indian Railway has received under the tenure of Prime Minister Modi. Today he is going to be flagging off the locomotive manufacturing installation. What do you have to say about that? Because he is, very keenly been speaking about improving the connectivity across the country, about Viksit Bharat, about Make in India. So these are a couple of things that Prime Minister Modi speaks about.
Well, yes, I think, what is very interesting is that, connectivity, road, infrastructure, facelifting, making sure that, that railway stations, which is lifeline, railway, which is lifeline of India, their railway stations depicts the modern time which we live in. and you know, all in sync with building a world-class infrastructure, which would in turn facilitate more and more business. This has been one of the key cornerstone as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi policy is concerned. But I think, you know, this particular roadshow, there are two roadshows which is going to be held today. You know, one in Vadodara and also the second in Ahmedabad. You know, will be very interesting to see, because you know, there is also right now, you know, other than the slew of programs which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to announce today, will be inaugurated by Prime Minister, which will bring further fillip to infrastructure of Gujarat. I think, you know, the key issue is that this is the first rally by Prime Minister, first roadshow and first visit to Gujarat by Prime Minister after Operation Sindoor. And it is a very important landmark as far as you know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned, his politics is concerned, and most importantly the state of Gujarat is concerned. So you know, it is a very important point as far as that aspect is concerned. And also you know, the Bhuj Air Base, visit to Bhuj Air Base is also something, you know, which everybody is looking eagerly forward to. If you remember, you know, the second day when there were a lot of talks about from the Pakistani side, you know, they were spreading a lot of rumors about how they have destroyed an forward Indian base, Adampur Air Base, and then the Prime Minister went there the very next day, and you know, sending a very stern message to you know, to Pakistan and also to the world, and also exposing the doublespeak and hypocrisy of Pakistan, saying that, you know, how Adampur airspace is not only fit and fine, but they are also, you know, the slogan read that it is giving enemy sleepless night and making India sleep peacefully at night. So I think, you know, Bhuj Air Base, a visit to Bhuj Air Base and his interaction with the Air Force pilots there is also one very important point as far as the itinerary of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned.
Absolutely, and let me just quickly read out, you know, the port that you have just mentioned and how crucial the visit is going to be. These will include the infrastructural projects at Kandla Port, the solar plants, power transmission systems and road constructions, and beneficiary districts are going to include Kutch, Jamnagar, Amreli, Junagadh, Gir Somnath, Ahmedabad, Tapi and also Mahisagar. So while the neighbours are ready self-promoting themselves, Brijesh, we have our Prime Minister holding the mega roadshow, and that too for the honour of Indian Armed Forces and the success that they have showed to the nation during Operation Sindoor.
Well, absolutely. I think, you know, I mean, as we were discussing, you know, the fact is that, yes, the Prime Minister always, you know, power packs various important infrastructural projects, you know, whenever he makes a visit to any of the state, you know, you just dotted out the entire slew of program of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he'll be inaugurating the infrastructure. But right now, you know, the kind of mood which is in the country, you know, post Operation Sindoor, there's a feeling of, there was a feeling of massive anger against the kind of dastardly terror attack which was carried in Pahalgam, and you know, the post that it was a swift retaliation by Indian Armed Forces, which destroyed the cradle of a nursery as far as Pakistan is concerned. You know, Mudrike, which is the base point as far as Lashkar-e-Taiba is concerned, and Bahawalpur, which is of Jaish-e-Mohammed. So, you know, all of these cradle of nurseries were dealt a debilitating blow. And when Pakistan did not learn its lesson after the first blow, you know, then India did a big airstrike, you know, which debilitated key air bases in Pakistan, which forced Pakistan to go on his knee and, you know, to go and seek for a ceasefire. India has announced a cessation of hostility. So this particular roadshow of Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Vadodara Airport to the Air Force is also done in honor of Indian soldiers. I think, you know, nothing boosts morale of a soldier when he sees the Prime Minister of the country either visiting him in person and lauding their courage and you know, eulogizing them, and also holding roadshow in their honor. I think, I mean, it is a huge fillip. It's a huge, you know, adrenal push as far as the armed forces is concerned. Sakshi?